Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have a couple of topics to cover from one that continues the conversation that Dr. Umar kickstarted a few months ago. And if you were with us for the last video, Busta Rhymes had to check Dr. Umar for talking that way about Eminem.
Dr. Umar, stop it. And there's a lot of that Dr. Umar say that I agree with, but this is one particular one where you way off the kilt, bro.
However, we have more on this today, this time from Jay-Z's former associate Dame Dash, who chose the Dr. Umar route when he was asked about Eminem, but at least in his case, he came clean on what he is, unlike others who choose to go bird box mode to ignore the elephant in the room. And you'd see what we mean by this in a moment, and we'll also be exploring how social media is taking it so far. Today we also have more that looks to be Drake's reaction to the latest disses aimed at him from Metro and Future's latest album. And we'll be exploring more on this in a moment, as A$AP isn't the only one who reportedly dissed Drake on this album, but also The Weeknd, and we'll get to this momentarily. And today we'll start with one that continues the saga of J. Cole's apology. And J. Cole recently took down his Kendrick Lamar diss 7-minute drill from digital service providers like Spotify, so it is no longer officially available to stream or buy. But there's more to this that shows this move from Cole is actually disingenuous, and in my opinion, Cole has been making matters worse by making these moves, and we have already started to see the aftermath of J. Cole's apology, the negative effects which we'll get to in a moment. So when the news hit the web that 7-minute drill has been removed, it sparked reactions like, this will go down as one of the weakest moments in rap history for the decade. And for those who think this is something positive, users like this, man of his word, y'all just know J. Cole really got it like that. He's just too nice to let it out. Well, it is quite interesting that he waited for the full tracking week to go by before he took it down so that it counts towards his first week sales. So no, in this case, Cole wasn't a man of his word because he waited for days to reap the benefits for the first week numbers, and as soon as the first tracking week was over, he just happened to finally become a man of his word and took it down. And luckily, not everyone is buying this stunt. He should have done this after the first day, but okay, to which a user added, needed the first week sales. And since this is what Cole is doing, some believe Drake and Cole need to delete first-person shooter next. It was all lies. And check this out, J. Cole no longer belong in the greatest rapper conversation. And I wonder what Eminem thinks about J. Cole right now, since he recently rapped about being at the level J. Cole been at. And if you recall, early projections for Cole's Might Delete Later came in at #1 with sales of 160,000, and well, since his apology, the projections have been dropping, and it looks to have settled for a #2 debut and first week sales of 119,000, his first album that will fail to go #1. And this stirred reactions like, that's what he gets for being a loser. And speaking on Drake, according to fans on the web, apart from A$AP Rocky, even The Weeknd dissed him on the new album when he sang on All to Myself. They could never diss my brothers, baby. When they got leaks in their operation, I thank God that I never signed my life away, and we never do the big talk, they shooters making TikToks. And boy, The Weeknd got fans on his side with this one, as nearly everyone agrees that if he signed to Drake, he wouldn't be where he is today. Check out a description of what The Weeknd's career would have looked like that went viral. He's right. If he signed to OVO, he would have 2 albums 6 years apart. The debut did well, but the sophomore flopped. 200,000 on IG talking about soon, folded hands emoji every time someone asks when he's dropping again. Only seen arenas when Drake brings him out to hug him, skull emoji. And when Weeknd sang about they shooters making TikToks, he's cooking OVO artist Baka Not Nice, who is quite active making TikTok videos. And upon seeing all these rappers coming together like Voltron to take him down, Drake chose to keep it on IG. He shared this: never give up, you may be closer than you think to a reaction. And how I see it at the moment, I'd say Drake is waiting for everyone to show their hands before he drops his response, although this hasn't stopped him from getting cooked Abel singing disses while Drake still dropping IG captions. More on this note, you're getting bodied by a singing dude really came full circle, but while we wait for Drake's response, posts like these have cast a shadow on what to expect. As this blew up, Drake was exposed as having ghostwriters, and people still want to tell us he has a dangerous pen. Whatever response he's sending Kendrick was probably put together at a writing camp or some ish, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts. Moving on, Jay-Z's former associate Dame Dash chose to go full Dr. Umar in a recent interview when he was asked about Eminem on the PBD podcast on Valuetainment to rank these rappers.
I'm gonna give you 5 rappers, see if you can rank them. Okay, you got Nas, you got Andre 3000, you got M, you got Tupac, you got Biggie.
Biggie and Pac died early. Andre 3000 doesn't do shows, but he could rap. Who else?
Nas and then Eminem.
Nas, what about him? Eminem is white and he could rap really well. And he could really rap. But he's still white. And what's
what does that mean? He's still white.
If you were to ask about hip hop,
yeah,
out of 10 white people that came in here, would any of them be specialists? If they were from that era? Probably not, other than Eminem. If you were to ask 10 black people from that era like myself about hip hop, they would know. Because in that moment, hip hop was a black sport created by black people. So it's hard for a black man to say a white man is the best at anything that's supposed to be a black sport. You're not going to get that from me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm racist.
At least you're consistent.
I don't call it racist, but a racist is when you judge a man for his color to me. I don't judge a person because of the color of their skin. I judge them because of the color of their soul. You know, I'm racist in that way.
As a wise man once said,
we're failing as a people. Ooh.
That was like bar for bar from Dr. Umar, although in this case he admitted that he's racist, unlike others who try to dance around it, and some are struggling to understand the logic, saying I don't judge people based on the color of their skin, but going on to do exactly just that. Who gives these people a platform to speak anyway? But some believe that was his own way of calling Eminem the best rapper. He basically knows that M is the GOAT, but won't admit it because he's white. Okay, I respect his honesty, lol, but while some believe this is arguably the worst kind of people, in this case he's black. The same thing goes for other races and cultures as well. On the other end, Dr. Umar / Dame's minions are going off. I have no problems with Dame's position and opinions about Eminem here, because it is exactly how I feel. Hip-hop is a black creation. No way I'm crowning a white man as the best. He's good, but he's not besting the gods. Get the F out of here. But something tells me if this was said about an industry created and dominated by other races, this same individual would have a lot of problems with, quote, Dame's position, if you know what I mean. But over to you guys, share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.